An organized criminal syndicate may have influenced the Ministry of Police to shut down the KwaZulu-Natal Political Killing Task Team. The Judicial Commission of Inquiry into Criminality, Political Interference and Corruption had on Monday. The explosive allegation came from South African Police Services SAPS Divisional Commissioner for Crime Intelligence, Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo, who was testifying before the commission at the Bridget Mabandla Justice College in Pretoria. Khumalo told evidence leader advocate Adila Hasim Assi that he believes a powerful criminal cartel swayed the ministry's decision to disband the unit tasked with probing politically motivated matters in the province, and said there are elements of organized criminal cartels that infiltrated the SAPS and the broader criminal justice system. He added that he would expand on this claim later in his testimony. According to Khumalo, the order to dissolve the team came via a letter dated 31 December 2024 when Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, who is currently on special leave, directed National Commissioner General Van Masemola to immediately scrap the task team. Khumalo stressed that between Mchunu's appointment as a police minister in July 2024 and the end of that year, no formal discussions had taken place regarding the unit's disbandment. The veteran officer, who first joined the KZN Political Killings Task Team as a project coordinator in July 2018, before becoming its project leader in September that year, told the commission that parts of his testimony will need to be delivered in camera. This, he explained, was necessary to safeguard ongoing investigations, protect the identities of witnesses, and preserve the operational methods of Crime Intelligence Division. The inquiry was established by President Cyril Ramaphosa on 13 July following an explosive press conference a week earlier by KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Ndletla Mkhwanazi at the briefing. Mkhwanazi alleged that politicians, police officers, correctional services staff, prosecutors, and even members of judiciary were entangled in criminal syndicates controlled by drug cartels and business interests in Gauteng. The commission's hearings are ongoing.
On my affidavit, during that spell between 2011 and 2012, it was during the time when the division was in the public space for more negative reasons than positive. One might say similar to what we experienced since the beginning of this year. The critical issues, without explaining them more, because they are reflected on the state capture report that are talking specifically to the division crime intelligence. So during 2011 and 2012, there were attempts by the acting management that I've cited to put a stop to most of the issues that were negatively affecting the environment. To sum them up, there was a misuse of resources as well as methodologies of the environment. And then during those acting years, attempts were made to correct all those mistakes. If I may refer to the testimony by the then acting national commissioner who came before this commission as the provincial commissioner KwaZulu-Natal and expanded more on the happenings and experiences in relation to crime intelligence during those acting periods. So the division was attempting to move away from those situations, but then unfortunately it did not happen because all the acting heads that I've cited then happened then to be moved away prior to the finalization of that project of trying to turn the environment around.
If your reference to those that
General Dumisani Khumalo has also told the Madlanga Commission that KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi was forced out of his role as acting National Commissioner in 2012, despite perceptions that he left voluntarily. Khumalo testified that he, Mkhwanazi, and National Police Commissioner Fane Masemola were all removed from their acting post while they were trying to put a stop to the nonsense inside the SA Police Service's crime intelligence. Mkhwanazi previously told the inquiry that after his removal, he returned to being just a police official. Khumalo's account disputes the idea of a voluntarily exit, describing instead a forced removal that stalled attempts at reform. He said the acting heads that I've cited then happened to be moved away prior to the finalization of the project of trying to turn the environment around. If your reference includes Mkhwanazi, yes, he left, but not of his own free will. It was the same case with the two of us. He went further, pushing back against claims of ministerial interference, and said it is not correct that PKTT was established as a result of recommendations of Morane Commission, adding that the police minister Begitele never gave direct instructions to the PKTT. Khumalo also defended improvements in crime intelligence over the past 2 years, citing reports from the Auditor General, the Inspector General of Intelligence, and Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Police. He described the division's purpose as providing actionable intelligence to frontline operations. Portions of his evidence touched on ongoing Gauteng counterintelligence operations, targeting drug cartels and their links to business and criminal justice officials. Khumalo confirmed that 10 PKTT members had been seconded from KwaZulu-Natal to assist, as previously noted by Masemola. Despite the political pressure, he stressed that PKTT had not been disbanded. Instead, it was scaled down but still achieved breakthroughs, including progress in investigations into the assassinations of Sindiso Magaqa and Ahmad Swart. After much speculation, Chief Evidence Leader Advocate Thierry Motaung has officially requested to resign from the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. The inquiry is examining allegations of criminality, political interference, and corruption within South Africa's contentious criminal justice system. With Motaung opting to bow out, it has triggered urgent discussions among Commission officials as the investigation progresses. Led by Acting Deputy Chief Justice Mboiseni Madlanga, the Commission began its work earlier this month, aiming to address severe claims that have permeated the law enforcement community. Motaung, a distinguished senior counsel recognized for his pivotal role in the VBS Mutual Bank investigation, has been instrumental in shaping the Commission's strategy and timeline, making his leadership central to the inquiry's operations thus far. The Commission's mandate covers a wide-ranging investigation, including allegations made by KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, who has raised concerns over the infiltration of criminal elements into the police service. The implications of these allegations are far-reaching, calling into questions the integrity of law enforcement agencies across the country. While the reasons for Motaung's sudden resignation have not been officially disclosed, initial reports suggest that he may have been subjected to threats, further complicating the inquiry's dynamics. As yet, the Commission has refrained from releasing an official statement regarding the circumstances surrounding his decision to step down. These uncertain circumstances loom large, prompting anticipations of further developments as Commission leaders strive to consult and navigate this emerging crisis. The unexpected shift raises significant questions about the continuity and effectiveness of the Commission's work. As stakeholders and public closely monitor the situation, there is growing concern about the inquiry's capacity to proceed in the wake of leadership change. Clarity on this pressing matter is awaited as the integrity of South Africa's criminal justice system hangs in the balance. The Madlanga Commission faces an uncertain future following Motaung's sudden resignation, raising critical questions about its effectiveness in tackling corruption within the country's criminal justice system. What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.